Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're just going to create the isometric only, right? And I will follow this video up with one where I will create the 2D drawing, but this one, as I just said, is going to be strictly the isometric. So let's go ahead and jump and get started. Okay, so isometrics can be kind of tough to create, especially one that's going to have a polygon in it. Now, as you've seen that I created many isometric videos, I've never did one with a polygon in it. So we're going to have to kind of figure this out, I guess, geometrically in order to make this work. So when I get to doing that, I'm going to kind of sketch out this polygon over here to the side, and then I'm going to use that information that I get from the 2D drawing to create my isometric. All right, so let's switch to AutoCAD. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create that polygon. Now you notice that from the drawing we had a polygon and we knew the distance from the sides. So when I create this, that tells me that I'm going to be using a circumscribed polygon, right? So we're going to use the polygon command. Remember, you can just type in POL for polygon, or if you're a person that likes to find the actual icon for it, it's located here. I'm going to go ahead and specify the center, which is going to be, well, I'm sorry, it's going to specify the sides. I have 6. Go ahead and hit enter. Then I'll specify the center. Click here, and then here's that question, inscribed or circumscribed. Remember that I do know where the sides are touching at. So in this case, it's going to be a circumscribed, and then I have to type in the radius. So that circle says that is, or the drawing says that it is 20 wide. In our case, that means 10. So I'm just going to type in 10. Go ahead and hit enter. All right. So now my polygon is kind of rotated on this side here. I want it to stand up. Let's go ahead and zoom out just a hair here. Then I'll go to the rotate command. Go ahead and select my polygon. Enter. I'll select this endpoint here and let's just type in 30. Okay. So we already know that the distance from this line going over here is going to be set to 20, right? The information that I'm going to need to create my isometric is going to be the distance from that endpoint going up. Let's go ahead and put that circle on the inside here just to show you that it is indeed 20. I'm going to use a 2-point circle. That'll be the quickest. And I'm just going to go from midpoint to midpoint. I should go ahead and show you what running O snaps that I do have on, and you can see that midpoint is one of my running O snaps. As well as I'm just going to go ahead and turn this grid off. There's no need to have that. And from here, I could select this midpoint going across to that midpoint, right? You can see that it's telling me that that distance going across is 20. So that's what I mean by I know that the circle is touching the sides of my polygon. Therefore, it's going to be circumscribed. If it was inscribed, the endpoints will be touching that. And I can kind of show you that really quick here. So here's a inscribed polygon. It's going to be at this center, and if I answer inscribed and then I go and click on here, that's the difference between the two. All right, let's go ahead and delete that. All right, so we have this information going on, and I'm just going to draw a line from this endpoint here going all the way up to this endpoint. Let's go ahead and turn my ortho on, and now I need to know the length of this line, so I'm just going to give it a distance. I'll type in DLI, hit enter. And I'm going to go from this endpoint to this endpoint. Now it's going to be a small number. And you can see that it's some kind of super weird number. I didn't expect this number to be some exact whole number. I'm going to give this a few more decimals since we do need to know as much about this line as I possibly can. So I'm going to go ahead and select it, and then I'll go to the properties window. From here, I'm going to scroll down until I find my primary units. And once I get the primary units, I'm going to go to the precision, and then I'm just going to go all the way down to here. All right, so that's actually the length of that line. Now, we don't need to know this number for sure. I just wanted to show you that because I have this line drawn, so I can easily copy this. All right, so this information is what we're going to need. Let's go ahead and start doing some isometric stuff. So I'm just going to switch on my isometric drafting. Remember to have your ortho turned on when you do this. Now this is going to be a few different circles. So I'm just going to start off with the ellipse. So EL, enter, I enter. I'm going to click right here, and then it's going to ask me for either a diameter or a radius. Right now it's asking me for a radius. I'm going to tell it that I need a diameter. And now it's waiting on me to type in the diameter of this circle. Now, if yours is facing a different direction, remember that we control that with whichever of these isoplanes. So I'm starting off in isometric left. So it's still asking me for a diameter, and I'm just going to go ahead and create this big circle that's around it, right? So I'm going to start off by creating this circle that's sitting at 40. And now I have to create another circle to account for that chamfer on the inside, right? So I'm going to go back to the ellipse. So EL, enter, I enter. I'm going to go to the center. I'll click here. D for diameter, and then I'll type in the diameter. Now that chamfer is 1 by 45. So remember, we're taking 1 off of both sides. So in essence, we're taking 2 off of the whole thing. So 40 minus 2 is going to be 38, will be the distance of that diameter. Okay. Now I'm going to keep this right here for now. And now we're going to go ahead and draw one more ellipse here, or isocircle I should call it. And then I'm going to start constructing my polygon. Okay. So let's go back to the ellipse command, EL, enter, I enter. Let's go and find the center, which is located here. D, enter. I'm going to type in that diameter that I needed, which is going to be 20. Now, I'm going to take this line that I created earlier. So let's go ahead and select that, and I'm going to use the grips. I'm just going to select this blue square in the middle, and then I'm going to go place it right here at the center of my circle. Okay. We do know the length of these sides, right? So we're going to go ahead and figure out the length of this. So I'm just going to grab a line, and I'm going to draw from here to here. Now I could explode this circle, which actually may be a better idea. So let's go ahead and select our polygon over here, and then let's use the explode command. So now these are all separate. So I do know now the length of these vertical lines that's going to be on the side of it. Let's go ahead and get rid of this dimension here. All right. So in order to create or figure out where my edge is, I'm just going to start off by drawing a line. My ortho is on, and I'm just going to take a line going straight across this direction, right? Doesn't matter the length right now. I'm going to select this line here. Then I'll go ahead and select this midpoint here, and then I'm just going to place it at that midpoint. Okay, so now what I need to do is go ahead and place this edge. So I'll select it here, grab that grip, and place it at this intersection that's located here. The exact same thing on the other side here. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this line, select that grip, and then we're going to place it at that intersection on the other side. All right, so that's really pretty much all I need to create. Let's go ahead and draw a line now, connect these two endpoints, and the same on this side. Okay, let's do another line, and we're going to connect these two bottom endpoints, right? So we're going to connect an endpoint going here, and then one more going here. All right, so that all worked out for us. Let's go ahead and get rid of this information here. We really don't need to see it for now. Okay. And we can go ahead and get rid of both of these lines here. Now while I'm here, I'm just going to join these lines together here just so I can create or treat my polygon as one object. So I'm just going to select all of these lines here. We do have one more here at the bottom. I think I already got it selected. Just going to hit J, enter. Okay. So I got 6 lines that was converted into one polyline. That's exactly what I need to see. Okay, so now we can start figuring out some of the other geometry here that we need. So that's going to be 20 there at the bottom. Let's go ahead and put one more isocircle that's sitting at 9 on the inside of this. So I'm just going to go back to the ellipse command. Isocircle. Let's go ahead and find the center here. And this has a diameter of 9, so D, enter, 9, enter. Okay, so now I think I have all the circles that I'm going to need to create this. There's one more that I do need. Now that I think about it, let's go ahead and place it in here right now. So EL, enter, I enter. Let's go find this center. And just like we did with the other one, we got to count for the chamfer line on the inside of that. So that diameter there is 20. So I'm going to go D, enter, and then we got to subtract the 2 away from it, which should give me a number of 18. All right. So just to recap, this one has a diameter of 40. This one is 38. Here is 20. And then this one is 18. And then we do have a circle that's sitting at 9. And we do have our polygon around us. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to a different isometric. I'm just going to use the isometric top. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this circle here. I'm going to tell it to copy it. I'll pick a base point, which is going to be located right here. I'm going to go forward a distance of 1, enter. And now this is where things will get a little bit confusing, so I'm going to escape from here. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete that line or circle here. All right. And then we're going to continue what we was doing. We're going to take a copy. I'll select that line here. Hit enter. Click here. Go forward. Now I have to subtract that 1 from both sides of this. The overall distance is 20. So this distance here will be 18. Go ahead and hit enter. Let's go ahead and kind of finish off some of this. I'm just going to draw a line from this quadrant here going to that quadrant, and likewise here on the bottom, a line going from this quadrant here straight to that quadrant. Okay, let's go ahead and trim. So I'm just going to use TR. I'm just going to select, let's do this a little bit quicker. Let's go ahead and select the cutting edges, and then we'll select that line there. And then this one, hit enter. And then let's just trim off this inside portion. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this line here. I'm going to copy. Pick a base point, which is somewhere here, and go forward a distance of 20. Okay. Now you can see that that part will show through. So I'm just going to go to trim, cutting edge. I'll select this arc here, enter. And then I'm just going to trim off that portion there. Okay, so we do see just enough of that to show through. We're going to do the same thing here. We know that this part, or this circle here in the front, is the one that we're going to see. So when I trim, use the trim command, cutting edge, I'm going to select this arc here, go ahead and hit enter, and then I'm going to zoom in and trim off that portion there. Okay, so that's good on that portion. Now we have that done. Let's go ahead and figure out what this back line is here. So I know that this inside circle here goes all the way back the total length of my shape here, so I'm going to send that back a distance of 50. And that's only going to be one line there, so I'm just going to go to the move command. Pick a base point here, and go up that direction and type in 50. Okay. And now I have to subtract that 1 from the back end of this. I'm not going to subtract it from both sides of it because I'm going from the front face all the way to the back, and it's only one chamfer on the back. So therefore, I'm going to go to the move command. And I'm trying to remember, okay, that's the inside. So this is the one that I need to show the distance. So I'm going to select here, hit enter, pick a base point somewhere here, and go this direction, a distance of 49. All right. And that's exactly what I expected to see. Let's draw a line. We're going to go from this quadrant, forward this direction, escape. Then we're going to do that one more time. So a line from this quadrant here, going forward here. All right, so let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Let's start off with the first trim. We're going to go to trim, select the cutting edge, which is going to be this shape here, enter, and then I'll trim off this inside portion here. Let's go ahead and hit escape one more time and go back to the trim command. And then we're just going to trim off that part here. We're going to zoom in and trim off some parts that are going to be located here. as well as here. Same thing here on the bottom, so I'm just going to take care of both of these trims. Alright, so now our basic shape is actually done. We just need to figure out what's happening here on the inside. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this portion from this base point going inward a distance of 10. Okay? And then what I'm going to do, and I should have copied both of those, with this one I'm actually going to move it. So I'll go to Move, select this circle, go ahead and hit Enter, base point here, and go down a distance of 10. And you can see that that barely shows through. All right, so once I trim this, it should be, good to go. Let's draw a line. And we're just going to connect from here down to here. Let's go back to the line command. We're going to go from that end point coming to here. Don't look like I got exactly where I wanted to get to. All right. And the rest of this is kind of trimming this just to make it look right. So let's go to the trim command. And what we're going to do is first take away that line there. And I'm just going to kind of trim it off to here. Do the exact same thing on this side. Trim off our circle here. And it does look like I actually undid some stuff I needed. Let's go ahead and undo back. Okay. And I'm just looking at, where this line actually is supposed to go. Okay. I actually meant to keep that portion, so I'm going to trim off here, and this part. Okay, that looks better. Let's go ahead and hit the escape button, and then we're going to erase that part here. All right, so I didn't want to add this to another video. As you can see, it would take us about a good 20 minutes to create this shape, but we can do it in isometric, and hopefully it looks exactly like what we created on our modeling stuff that we did in Inventor, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, let me know. If you just like seeing these only isometric videos, as I don't mind doing them, and hopefully you kind of learned a little bit more about doing some isometrics. And thank you for watching. Thank you if you are a new person. Welcome to come back and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And as always, keep drafting.